Hi, I'm Jeff Lewis. I'm the tennis coach for Hamilton High School. It's a pleasure to be with you, and thanks for your interest in tennis. It's a great sport. I've played it quite a few years. It's something that you can play well into your old age, and it's just a great sport for keeping fit. It's a technical sport. There's some technique that you need to learn to be a good tennis player, or you only get to a certain level. So we will work on that and try and develop the players to get them technically sound and fit and ready to play. So I view my responsibilities as a coach to help the students develop tennis and with that life skills. I also am required and I will ensure that the safety and health of the students. And also, of course, I will support the school district and state rules and guidelines. But the students too have a responsibility if you're going to come out for tennis. What I expect is that you envision your potential, what you can do with students as a student athlete, and also put together a disciplined plan and participate in practices to achieve that potential. And then also, I expect you to be a good sport and a good team member. When I say, envision your potential, you might say, well, I want to be first at state. Okay, that's great. Now you've got to put a plan together to allow you to achieve that. And if you can't put a plan together to achieve that, well, you need to adjust your plan to make it be your plan, that you have a good plan to achieve, and then be a good sport along the way. So those are the responsibilities. There are certain principles that we'll adhere to. First one, in our daily practice, we're going to work on technique instruction, both serve, ground strokes, volleys, footwork. Footwork's very important. I had a tennis pro tell me I can tell how good a person is just by watching their feet. So you move in tennis, and then the technique for the strokes is important. So we'll do technique instruction. We'll also do drills, and drills will help with tactics and also your fitness. Learn tennis, strategies, that sort of thing, what to do when, what not to do. And also we'll do a lot of scrimmaging, and that's to develop mental toughness. I practiced serve a lot because I would serve, practice serve, I'd do well, but then when I get in games, I wouldn't serve well. Well, I just lack some mental toughness that, I'm trying to develop. Well, we'll try and develop mental toughness. So when things get hard, you don't cave in, but you persevere and keep focused on the right thing. And number 4, have fun, make friends. Tennis is a great sport. It's a lot of fun. One thing I adhere to is, the score's the score. I worked for over 30 years in corporate America, and at times, other people decided if I was going to win or not because they could. And that was the way the system worked. The thing I love about tennis is the score's the score. It's only up to you. Nobody's going to decide if you're going to win or not. It's you and the work you put in. So a lot of times when I adjust the lineup for the tennis meets, we'll do scrimmages and ladders to see ranking based on who wins. So again, the score's the score. You're not going to be placed in a position because you're my favorite or you're not my favorite. You'll be placed in a position because you've demonstrated through tennis games and scrimmaging what you're capable of. Good sportsmanship. A lot of times in tennis, you have to call balls out or in, and it's your call. So you call a ball out only if you are certain it's out. Otherwise, the ball is in. That's just part of good sportsmanship. We'll be doing doubles and singles. Some people only want to play doubles. Other people only want to play singles. Well, I'll try and give you a balanced approach, but predominantly what you want to do. Team and your development comes first, though. And at times you want to play doubles, and I'll say, you really need to play singles, and I'm going to have you play singles in this match. So I can't accommodate all your desires all the time. But remember, the team development comes first. And at times, I'll put you in a situation where you're probably going to lose. The odds are you're going to lose. I don't care as long as you learn. There's a saying, you win some, you learn some. So if you don't win, what did you learn from that match? I might intentionally put you against a player who's going to going to teach you something. So we need to stay healthy. Listen to your body when you play. If you're hurt, let me know. Make sure you're hydrated during practices. Bring a water bottle. I don't want carbonated pop beverages in practice. Bring water. Sunscreen or a hat, or if it's cold, something that keeps you warm. Good shoes. Running shoes are not stable enough to play tennis. Get some good tennis shoes. Appropriate sports clothes, of course, and keep in good shape. Of course, now with COVID around, we'll have certain guidelines we'll have to stick to. But tennis is an inherently good, safe sport. We'll be outside, lots of ventilation, and if you're closer than 6 feet to another player, something went wrong, and we need to work on that. So it's a good, safe sport, and we'll be careful how we handle the tennis balls and that sort of thing to try and maximize all the student safety. All right, lettering and varsity. Remember that I said the lineup for meets is going to be scrimmage based. It will be. By and large, every few weeks we'll redo it to adjust the lineup possibly. I generally know what's going to happen, but you need to prove it yourself, and I've been surprised a few times. You will letter if you are a district participant or an alternate to district, or if you participate in 4 or more varsity meets during the year. The varsity JV varsity boundary is a little bit fuzzy. That's because the score is a score. If there's somebody's JV is beating somebody consistently on varsity, then the lineup is that JV person will bump into a varsity meet, and so that's a little bit fuzzy. As far as the schedule, this is on the web. You just go to the Hamilton High School web, click on activities, click down to tennis, then click on the schedule, and you'll bring that up, so it's easy to find. Now, tentative practice schedule will be this. We start March 15th. That's not tentative. We will start March 15th. And we must have a practice on Saturday that week, so we get our 10 practices in before the first match that is the Friday following. So we have to have Saturday in order to get the 10 in before that Friday. And again, that's in the schedule on the web. For the regular weekday practice, I'd like to start varsity at 3:30. That's 25 minutes after school class ends, so if we're having struggles meeting that, we'll move it back a little bit. It'll be varsity from 3:30 to 5, then junior varsity from 4:45 to 6:15. There's a 15-minute overlap. I'd like the JV to come look at the varsity. They'll do warm-ups and such, so at 5 o'clock when the varsity leave, they're ready to come in and play. If there's poor weather will be in the Hamilton High Gym. There are some things you can do inside, but it's not a good place to do, so we'll try to meet outside on the courts if possible, and they're the courts in down Main Street in Hamilton. Now, I'm going to have the girls and boys together, maybe. We'll see. Sometimes things get a little silly. But a lot of I like people playing with people of their own expertise, the really good girls with the really good boys, and the learners with the learners. And basically there's some girls that can beat any boy that's going to show up this year. So it'll be good. It'll work out if things don't get silly, like I said. We're going to communicate through Remind. So there is something I've set up called Tennis 2021, and we'll get the information out to you. We'll use it for almost all communication. To join, you join just by texting a number 81010 on your phone, and then put in the message at 623E96, and that information will be in the notes. And then, of course, you download the app. There are PC and cell phone versions, so you can get at it anywhere, but it's very important that the student and you sign into that, otherwise you won't know what's going on if things change or something. The normal hours where I'll be monitoring things is between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So with COVID, we'll be careful. Certain rules, we'll let you know what happens there. If you have any questions, get on the Remind app and ask me. And I look forward to working with you and your student. Tennis is great. I really enjoy it. It's a wonderful experience. I think we're going to have some good outcomes this year. This is my third year. First year, it was a building year. Second year, we started hard, had a lot of great athletes and students out, but it was canceled. This year, I expect to have a great girls team that'd be very competitive. Boys team, I'm not sure if it might still be a building year, but based on who came out last year, I think we'll have a great experience and we'll be competitive also. Again, thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon out on the court.